Let me share with you the sole purpose of the BTS group and why they exist on this planet. So over the years, we've had many different groups. We have Michael Jackson, we have the Beatles, we have famous people that really light up the world, right? So BTS is one of those groups that really light up the world. Their individual energy really contributes to the collective. And because of that positive energy, that brotherly energy, that loving energy, they're actually sharing that love with everybody around the world. So when you are listening to the music, you're actually really listening to their love vibration that they're sharing individually as a person to their fans and also collectively as a group to all their fans. So what you're receiving, it's like this very nice vibe of positive energy. And of course, in this world, we have the war, we have so many things going on that feel very negative. But when you listen to the BTS, and I'm a fan myself, I just feel very elated. I'm being very uplifted by their positive energy. Now, it's not to say that each person of the group is like a god or they're perfect human beings. I think as long as we're alive, we have something that we have to work on, right? So I also want to share a little bit about each member. What is their public persona versus their private lesson that they have to work on in this lifetime? Okay, so let's start with the leader, RM. So I really like him. He just is such a grounded, stable person. He holds the group together. He's like the alpha dog of the whole group, which is so lovely. And he kind of gives you this impression on the outside that he holds it all together. But at the same time, he is also someone who is sensitive. He is sensitive to the energies of other people, right? You might have seen some of the interviews in which he's talked about how he has difficulty sleeping. And the reason why is because as the leader of the group, he gets bombarded by other people's energies a lot, right? He feels that he's responsible for the well-being of the group. And on top of it, he's getting other people's energies constantly attacking him or demanding things from him. So over time, the energetic shield of a person can feel weak, right? That's not just applying to RM, but that applies to each person. Like you constantly have demands from other people. Over time, your energy gets weak and it just feels a little bit more tiring. It's difficult for you to sleep because you're wired during the day. And then when you actually want to sleep, you're like, oh my God, I cannot sleep at all. And then you feel like you are constantly running on a deficit of energy. It's like some people who are really bad at saving money, right? And so then you end up having a deficit of money. Well, energy is just like money. So if you keep on running a deficit of energy, it gets very tiring over time. So I hope that if you are RN, you're watching this, that you really give yourself some breaks and be gentle with yourself and actually say nice things to yourself, right? That's something that we each are responsible for. We're responsible to ourselves, first of all. Okay? Then we have an overflow we can give to other people. Okay? I love you. All right, moving on to the next. Let's start with the youngest, Jungkook. He's kind of like the rebel, right? On the outside, he just looks like this rebel teenage vibe, and he's got tattoos all over and rings all over. Very cool image that he's projecting. At the same time, he's also someone who has a lot of core fire energy. He can work extremely hard, very disciplined to perfect his songs, perfect his stance. He has a playful side. But then if you actually really look at him, he just got this fiery energy about him. So I love his music even as an individual artist as well as a member of the BTS group. And I hope that he will be a little bit gentle on himself and not put so much demand on himself. I think that is true for all the members of the BTS, right? They have high expectations of themselves to perfect their choreography, perfect their voice. And sometimes it can be quite stressful, quite draining. So my message to Jungkook is take care of yourself. Be a little bit easy. Maybe tone down the fire just a little bit, right? Go to the beach a little bit more. Connect with the water energy a bit more. And actually, I think your overall well-being will increase significantly. Alrighty, I love you. Sending you blessings. Let's move on to another BTS member. Who should we do? Let's do Jimin. Jimin is such a lovely person. Every time I look at him, he just gives you this really soft, kind, sweet vibe. Very gentle. He seems to cheer other people on, cheer his other members of the BTS group on. I really like his personality. And at the same time, because he's sensitive, I think it's important for him to really honor himself and not overgive. I think he has a tendency to overgive to other people, maybe overly take care of other people's feelings. Really, the private lesson for him to learn is to honor his own feelings first, right? To really give to himself first. And his sensitivity is a superpower. Actually, sensitive people are sensitive for a reason, and it's not a weakness. It's absolutely a superpower. So leaning to that sensitivity, and I actually think that's what makes him a really great musician and artist. All right, so just take care of yourself and give yourself breaks whenever you need to, and kind of set some clear boundary around the people that maybe are taking too much from you. All right, I love you, sending you blessings. Let's move on to the next one. Who should we do? Let's do another J. That is Jin. Jin is the worldwide handsome guy, right? We all know him as the worldwide handsome guy. Again, another sensitive soul, also a superpower to him. I think he's super disciplined. I've seen him in interviews talking about how he's not as good at singing, as good at dancing. So she puts a lot of pressure on himself, right, to work harder than other members of the group. And I would say that you're good enough as you are. Like, really, the private lesson for you to learn here is to know that you're already good enough. You're good enough as you are. Your fans love your music as it is. You don't really need to try to keep pushing yourself to the limit. Of course, we always want to improve. Everybody wants to grow more, expand more, right, and improve our skills. At the same time, it's okay to appreciate the moment, appreciate the now, and say to yourself, I'm good enough as I am, and I can really appreciate the accomplishments that I already have. Okay, so that's my message to Jan, and if you're watching this, I love you and sending you blessings. Okay, moving on to another BTS member. Let's do Suga. He is the amazing rapper in the group. I really like his music, tremendously talented person. And on the outside, he seems like the quietest person. He never really talks in the interviews that I've seen of the group. Actually, he has a lot of things to say on the inside. It's like one of those things, like sometimes the quietest people, when they actually start talking, they have a lot to say. He's really one of those people. And I think he expresses himself through rapping, because if you think about rapping, it's like a lot of words, right? But at the same time, he doesn't ever show that, like when you're just seeing him in interviews. So I would encourage him to really express his feelings a little bit more. Maybe he's comfortable with the other members of the BTS group because they're like brothers basically, but also try to share his feelings with his other friends or family. Sometimes it's good to just say it out loud, right? You don't have to use too many words, but articulating and naming the feelings that you have would really help you actually feel better about yourself and feel better about the relationships that you have with other people. Let me give you an example. Just to name, I'm scared, or I feel ashamed about certain things, right? Or I feel angry, I feel frustrated. Just to put one or two words to your feelings will really help you feel better about yourself. So that's my suggestion. I love you. I think you're already amazing as you are. And sending you blessings. Okay, so we're gonna do one more. Is V. He's so handsome. He is now the face of Celine. Such a successful person, and he just seems so humble, right? He just gives you this feeling like he's a really chill, humble, loving guy. And I would say just give yourself more permission to be as creative as you can. And it's like, I feel like he's the kind of person who's really great at being a part of the group and doing his best to kind of hold things together. But at the same time, really allow yourself to be even more free, to be even more creative, to be even more wild. Just really experience that freedom of expression, freedom of creativity. And I think it'll make you happier, honestly. That is just what I feel when I tune into you spiritually. Again, I love you and sending you so much blessings. So J-Hope is the last person I'm going to be channeling for. I love J-Hope. I think he is so cute and he is so funny and he always has a smile on his face. and he's like a free spirit, right? I really get the sense that he's a freedom-driven person. He just kind of wants to do his own thing sometimes, and of course, there's also that pressure of being pulling together for the group. So you want to make time for yourself to do your own creative project, whatever that may look like for you. Take a trip by yourself, go off somewhere by yourself, have some alone time. I think it's important for you to have your own time, even though you spend so much time with the group, because doing projects together, and it's very important, of course, to have cohesion within the group. But I also just get the sense that you're super independent as a person. So make time for yourself. All right. So that's my suggestion. I hope that's helpful. I love you and sending you blessings. I love all the BTS group members and the entire group. I look forward to seeing more creative projects from you, and lots of love.